I'm still tired. Tired? From what? The time shift coming back from California, it's still just messing with me. Why were you in California? Yeah, I went to VidCon. And right now, many of you are probably like, I went to VidCon this year. It was my first one, and it was a heck of an experience overall. As I talk about different aspects of the convention, I'm actually going to talk about what I'm going to call the C's, because I think that there was a trend of different C-letter words that came out. Community. So number one, we're going to start with community, and I think that was the overarching theme that I saw that pretty much everybody honed in on, and almost every track talked about in some way, shape, or form. Every single content creator talked about their community and talked about the fact that this is the thing that really just, it's the tie that binds. That's really the basis for online video. I mean, yeah, you have the video and everything like that, but really it's the community that are there for each one of the creators, and each one of the creators will tell you that they cherish their community more than anything else in the world. And the next C word goes hand in hand with that, connection. For as much as each content creator actually talked about their community, they talked about getting connected with their community and really just wanting to interact with them as much as possible in different ways, different shapes, different forms, whether it was through the comments on the videos or through email or doing meetups or things like that. There was lots of great examples of people doing different things to go ahead and actually connect with their audience. Competition. Here's the theme for the industry track. YouTube is huge, massive. They are the king when it comes to online video right now. They were compared to essentially the Walmart of online video because they do so much volume. But the fact of the matter is that they're starting to attract attention, and there's a couple major players that are going to be coming into the market within the next 6 to 12 months to really challenge them. And that's where that then leads into the conversation about CPMs and revenue and profit sharing. And there seemed to be a general opinion that a lot of people weren't really keen on the way that YouTube does their profit sharing right now in terms of how they actually manage the money that comes in from advertising. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out as the competition comes in. Creators. All the creators that I met were super awesome, being willing to take the time to actually connect with their community, the people who were coming to see them, take the time to sign things for them and talk to them and just see how things were going. And they just genuinely seemed really appreciative of the fact that, hey, you were here and you came to see me and you're spending your money and your time to come see me. And they just seemed super appreciative of that. Concerts. It's pretty awesome just to have concerts, and it's another C word, so I'm throwing it in there. Major things that stood out for me. Old media has definitely stood up and taken notice. NBC was a major advertiser there, as well as Discovery with their partnership with Revision 3. I thought their emphasis on Shark Week was pretty interesting, given the fact that that is pretty much the old media, and my understanding from my wife is that they didn't really have a lot online in terms of video as related to Shark Week. This Star Won't Go Out meetup was awesome, and I cannot thank the folks with them enough in terms of the motivation that it gave me to get in touch with a friend of mine who was really in need. I'll go ahead and I'll leave it at that. If you want to know more, you can ask me about it in person sometime, or you can send me an email. I'd love to see more educational panels. There was definitely a couple, but I would love to see more. There was a significant one that I didn't have the opportunity to get into because they actually had to shut the doors because of the number of people who were trying to get in, and they missed the cutoff by about 30 people. Overall, I think that there's more conversation that needs to happen around educational video and how we go about funding that in the future. As one of the industry track speakers talked about, Subbable is a great idea and will definitely help things like Crash Course up front and CGP Grey. However, the question comes down to how sustainable is that model as compared to the advertising model, and is there something else that we can find that would be better and more sustainable than either of those models? I do want to say that probably the most awesome thing in my experience was the community as a whole and just the awesomeness of the people who were there. I was essentially attending by myself, but I really didn't feel that alone. I had an opportunity to meet a lot of awesome people. So I met Shlomo, who was from St. Louis and is an awesome music guy. You should definitely check out his channel and what he's doing over there. Some very cool stuff. I met Dell, who is from Southeastern Oklahoma State University and is working with their group to increase online video that they're doing as a part of the university, and he's going to be branching out into his own endeavor hopefully very soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing that because Dell was a very awesome guy. I met Sean and Wyatt, who were both pretty cool. in terms of up-and-comers in the industry and really trying to get their breakthrough. Appreciated the time I got to spend with them. It was great to meet Emma and Karen and Helen, who were all very welcoming. It was nice to meet Lindsay and Minar and Jennifer and Lauren and Taryn. Boy, I'm starting to feel like this is a romper room or something like that, and I'm calling out faces through my magic mirror. Also, Eric and company, Eric Schneider of Eric's Everyday New. Thanks to them for hanging out in some of the panels, things like that. People always want to ask the question, well, what's the number one thing that stuck out to you, or what's the number one experience that you had while you were there? And I would say that the number one experience that I had while I was there, the number one thing that I noticed was just the focus on community and connectedness. Just that overarching theme and how strong it was, it was wonderful. That wraps up my VidCon experience. However, if you have further questions about VidCon in general or any of the specific tracks or sessions that I went to, feel free to leave a question in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer that. Also, while you're there, click on like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.